All right, let's now bring in SABC International News Editor Sophie Mokoena. Sophie, a very good afternoon to you. So it is a high-stakes meeting, especially given that relations between the two countries are now at an all-time low. As you give us a sense of what to expect later, how does President Cyril Ramaphosa balance staying firm to South Africa's own principles, when it comes to our policies, while also appreciating, of course, that the US is a key trade partner?
Well, I think he has indicated before departure that the intention is to reset the relations, and therefore he is willing to engage the U.S. counterpart on some of the issues where we might see changes. We know that previously it was easy for South Africa because of the historic ties between the two countries, particularly when you look at issues that are related to trade and investment, for example, AGOA. And therefore, I think South Africa has accepted that in September, this agreement will not be renewed, particularly for South Africa. And therefore, what kind of a trade relation you begin to engage in and discuss to ensure that you continue with the relationship, but you take into consideration that you will have to lose certain privileges that were contained within the AGOA agreement. Secondly, the issue of global affairs. Global affairs, the countries will agree on peace and security around the world. The issue will be how you go about ensuring that there's peace and security in Ukraine, in the Middle East, in Sudan, and the DRC. The last issue, what is quite important, will be the issue of the national question in South Africa. The national question at this moment has divided the country. You have a majority of black marginalized who are saying 30 years on, it can't be business as usual. Now, when you try to redress, there will be a pushback for those who are privileged, who are still privileged. And therefore, some people will see this as marginalization of those who are privileged because they are a minority. And therefore, that speaks to the issue of the Afrikaners and other decisions and laws of the country that are aimed at addressing the injustices of the past. There, it's going to be a bit heated. The president, I don't think, will spend time on that. They've already engaged on this issue, and clearly there won't be an agreement.
And I suppose that's where most of the anxiety and the stress comes in, Sophie, in terms of the conversations around those sticky issues, particularly in the Oval Office, with a lot of concerns that the meeting might disintegrate into that meeting that we saw with the Ukrainian President Zelensky. So looking at the team and the role players here, let's look at the South African team and the importance of having the people that President Cyril Ramaphosa is having there, including, of course, the Agriculture Minister, John Steenhuisen.
Well, when you look at the South African entourage or the delegation that is accompanying the president, you have quite a number of very calm people. Pakstow of Trade and Industry, you can count on him. He's not going to be provoked. You have Ronald Lamula. He's now used to these global challenges and hostile reception and people pushing back. He will be able to handle that. You have Minister Steenhuisen. He is going to take into consideration what is at stake, and he will be able to manage the body language. The president has got experience, will have to do that. He will do that. The Minister of State Security is not going to say much because, state security are private matters. Therefore, you also have the former DG of the Department of Trade and Industry under the former Minister Alec Erwin, who is very familiar with issues of trade and investment. So you have a formidable team. that can manage the body language and the anxieties and the excitement or provocation. On the side of the US, it's going to be that kind of a team that is very robust. President Trump himself, Vice President Vance, Marco Rubio, don't expect a calm team from that side. And therefore, don't allow them to drag you to where you are also reacting to their body language, their posture, and what they are saying. Keep the line, don't compromise on principle, but stay calm. And that's what I expect. I don't expect that it's going to be easy. It's going to be very difficult. But I think they've done a lot of work looking at all the meetings since President Trump came back to office, and they will be able to manage the situation. They are lucky because there are examples where you can look at ensuring that you don't find yourself in a similar situation. I don't think what's important will be signing of agreements there. It's not a state visit, it's engagement.
Absolutely. Sophie, thank you so much for unpacking that for us. That is SABC News International Editor Sophie Mokoena. Of course, President Cyril Ramaphosa arriving in the United States of America today.